fans. And by the way, Dan will be calling the game, which I think is going to be a massive test because it'll be good for us to evaluate. Not like that this game means everything for Dan, but it's a good test for Dan if he's calling plays because you're facing a defensive coordinator that's seasoned, a very good DC. Vic Fangio has been a DC for a while. He's had elite defenses, and he's been at this thing for a long, long time. And I think Dan obviously respects the hell out of him, and he knows what he's going to watch. They're going to study film. John's going to get him ready, just like John Morton should. That's his job now. All right? Get Dan ready. Because you could argue it's Spags or Fangio, best two DCs right now in football. Like that's the two that it's like they're the best DCs, bro. So it'll be good for Dan. But I saw this. I want to show you. I don't know if you saw this. It's like a chart that
I know exactly. Did you see this in a message?
In a message?
Yeah, someone messaged us a chart.
No, I saw Jeremy quote tweet it, so that's how I saw it. Did someone message us too?
Maybe we're thinking of two different charts.
It's the play calling chart. Is that what you're talking about? It's like basically it's a chart. It's a chart explaining. So it's basically expected points added for scripted and non-scripted plays on offense. So
EPA.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
it's a little EPA for scripted plays. I think.
Love a little EPA chart. Let's see.
This is where the Lions. I think this is where they are in that metric. All right. So you have all these teams in the middle, and then all the way over here is the Detroit Lions.
Wait, is this just last week?
I think it's for 2025.
So break this down for me like I'm like a second grader. I understand. Listen. I understand this chart. If there's like a kindergartner watching us right now, can you break it down for the kindergartner?
All right. So basically, how high you are on the chart is how good you are, EPA, expected points added. So it's how efficient you are basically at non-scripted plays. The how far you are to the right is how good you are at scripted plays.
So Dan Campbell is just elite.
So
he's the best you can get.
Yes. So like you see the Titans at the bottom, they're really good at script. They're not really good. Excuse me. They're to the right. They're not good at scripted plays.
They're not good at either. They're pretty low on both.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything non-scripted. I guess that's a better way to phrase it. They're doing nothing non-scripted. Tanner Engstrand can't figure out how to script a game. Dan Campbell and Shane Steichen's kind of like more scripted, but he can still do some non-scripted. Clint Kubiak, more scripted, less than non-scripted. Dan can do, I guess what this chart's showing is he's basically the greatest offensive mind to ever grace a football field. That's what.
Well, to be fair, all of these guys have called plays for 10 weeks. Dan's 1 week. Yeah. So the sample size is pretty telling.
I've interrupted the video to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper and the new promotion they have going on. A brand new promotion is now live on Sleeper that could be paired with the 100% deposit match promotion that's already been going on. It's a free $20, no deposit required, plus first-time users will also receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Use the code CT Sports. You guys should already be using Sleeper. It's one of the fastest organically growing fantasy platforms in the entire world with millions and millions of active users. They are crushing it. And if your state allows it, you should be using Sleeper Picks. It's a real money product that connects friends over picks. You just choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame live or across different sports. Pick more or less than the predicted stats. And on Sleeper, you can get up to 1,000x payouts. Share with your friends. Get rewarded together. Don't forget, code CT Sports. Get a $100 deposit up to $100, and you got your free $20 entry. Sleeper is taking care of their customers. Always remember, gamble responsibly. Now let's get back to the video. But
how do you even, by the way, how do you even know if a play is scripted or non-scripted?
I think it's the first like 20 to 25 plays or something like that. I think they're like 10.
Yeah, but did you hear Dan today on 97.1? They asked him about that. Like they were like, how do you like go about?
I think it was the first offensive 15. It says 15 here.
Okay, first. Okay, but like even then though, like Dan even admitted he was like, Stoney asked him, it was like, do you script just the first couple drives, or like how do you go about? Do you script certain drives throughout the game, fourth quarter, third quarter? And he was like, it just depends. He said Ben Johnson, when they were going through the third quarter woes and it was like a big deal in the media and everyone, fans were talking about it, he said Ben Johnson would script the first 2 possessions of every second half and going into the game, that they Ben Johnson. So it's like, how do we know
Right.
I guess it actually does make sense because most likely, no matter what, the first 15 plays of every game is going to be scripted. So
Right.
essentially, so that makes sense. That does make sense.
They scored on every single possession. So scripted.
So Dan's just the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, which, like, joking aside, I mean, he did a fantastic job. But I think what you're going to see this week is kind of that balance of, like, pay attention. I guess for Lions fans, just watch the first quarter, maybe into the second quarter, depending on the plays, really first quarter compared to the second half or whatever. That's how you kind of judge, like, what they have scripted going into the game and then what they kind of do after that. Obviously, Dan, they can get anything they wanted against the Commanders, but this game will be more interesting to see. Like, every team usually looks good. Like, if you guys remember, I know that's the biggest thing. We had the little argument on the show because the Browns scored on the first possession, but they was scripted, like they script that first drive. And then after that, they didn't really score. So
what was that argument? Was that you? What was that? Oh,
we were arguing over how they looked defending scripted plays, and like Klotz kept saying, "Well, it's scripted." I'm like, "Well, I know it's scripted," which is fair, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you did make you made a comment. There was like a 4-letter word comment that was just
I said they got torched. Or I think
but you said something about like the going forward. I don't even know. You did say something going forward, and it was like, don't ever say that again about.
Well, it was how defense. How they look defending the first drive of teams, but again, I understand it's scripted, but again, that doesn't.
You were like, it's something to keep an eye on going forward, or something like that. It was so funny.
Because they were giving up points in like the opponent's first drive, but again, I understand. I fully understand that first drives teams are gonna have more success typically
for sure
because it's scripted. So this week against the Eagles, it'll be a good matchup because they have Jalen Phillips now who played pretty well. And they have a good interior defensive line. So offensive line this week, you're going to have to do some work. They're going to have to get back to it. So, and they should have except for obviously Christian Mahogany, they'll have Yodi up there, but I think they'll have all their starters, Graham, Taylor, Panay.
I think everyone's healthy offensively. So I don't know offensively if anyone's out. I don't think so. You should be fully healthy offensively. I'm interested to see what Dan does. I do think that's like to your point where you're saying about like the matchups with them and the Rams. Those are probably the two best teams, arguably outside the Seahawks, in your conference. And I think, like, especially this week being Dan's like second, or it's really not his first week, but his first week that everyone really knows, like, magnifying glasses on this offense and Dan Campbell now, because it's been asked about all week in the media, and it's against one of the best defenses in the NFL on the road. So am I going to go in there and expect Dan Campbell to be perfect like he was last week? No, I'm going to guess that there's going to be a couple punts this week, and might be a couple turnovers, like things. There's going to be bad things that do happen, but I still the only thing I want to see with Dan Campbell calling plays, Jeff, I just want to see like what's the word you want to look for in this moment here in my life? Like the explosive plays, like the drives where you put together big drives and you actually like take advantage of them. Where John Morton, it was like you're 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Oh, random touchdown, 3 and out, 3 and out, random touchdown.
More efficient.
Yes, and it's like, yes, I understand, Dan. Like, you're going up against a good defense. There are going to be bad possessions. It's going to happen. It's inevitable versus an Eagles team. Just want to see more times than not, outside of what John Morton was doing, that you're at least getting in the red zone more often. You're finishing in the red zone. You're getting points up on the board, and you're able to keep up with a team like this versus a defense like that. So that's the only thing I'm looking for here. I'm not going to be mad on Monday night or Monday morning after the game if they struggle a little bit offensively, because we do understand it's, one, still early in the season. 2, Dan Campbell just took over play calling, and 3, it's against one of the best defenses in the NFL that has added pieces like Jalen Phillips too. So it's more so just like a litmus test of where they're at. Did I say that word right? Litmus?
Yeah, litmus test. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested, or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, FisherCTSports.com.